demonstration topic is concept of stress and strain. The learning objective of this topic will be concept of stress, loads basically. Uh, what is stress? Type types of stresses, concept of strain. What is strain? And types of strain. I will explain one by one. First, concept of stress, then what is stress, then types of stresses, normal, tensile, compressive, shear strain, then concept of strain, then what is strain, and types of strain, longitudinal, lateral, tensile, compressive, shear, and volumetric strain. So before to understand what is stress, let us introduce the concept of stress. As we know that the main problem of engineering mechanics of material is the investigation of the internal resistance of the body, or we can say the nature of forces set up within a body to balance the effect of externally applied forces. Okay? The externally applied forces are termed as loads, and these applied forces may be due to any one of the following reason. May be due to service conditions, due to environment in which component works, through contact with other members, due to fluid pressures, or due to several conditions, gravity, inertia forces. As we know that in mechanics of deformable solids, externally applied forces acts on a body and body suffers a deformation. Okay. From equilibrium point of view, this action should be opposed or reacted by internal forces, which are set up within the particles or material due to cohesion. Uh, these internal forces, uh, these internal forces give rise to a concept of stress. Uh, so let us define as stress. As you can see that in this figure, this is a rectangular bar of some cross-sectional area and subjected to some load. We can say P or F load in Newton. And let us imagine that same rectangular bar, as you can see that in this figure, same rectangular bar is assumed to be cut into two halves at section XX. This is XX section. The each point of rectangular bar is in equilibrium now. Okay. Under the action of load P, this is load P, and the internal force is acting at section XS. So we can say that stress is defined as the force of intensity, okay, or force per unit area, or in simple language, load upon area. And here we use a symbol to represent the stress as sigma, where P is force and A is area. The basic units of stress in SI units is Newton per meter square. Okay. Now, types of stresses, basically there are two types of stresses, normal stress and shear stress. If the stresses are normal to area concern, as you can see that in this figure, this is a normal, okay, then these are termed as normal stress. The normal stress can be either tensile or compressive. As you can see that in this figure, when an object is under tension, is in this figure, uh, it is experiencing an increase in length. As you can see that these arrow representing the increasing in length. So when an object is under tension, it is experiencing an increase in length. So it will be tensile stress, and compressive stress is opposite to tensile stress, as you can see that in this figure. The opposite of tension is compression, where an object is undergoing a decrease in length. Okay. So compressive stress is opposite to tensile stress. Now, shear stress. Uh, to understand shear stress, let us consider the situation where the cross-sectional area, as you can see that in this figure, uh, a block of material is subjected to a distribution of forces uh, which are parallel rather than normal. Uh, Such forces are associated with a sharing of the material. As you can see that in this figure, forces acting parallel, and in normal stress, forces are acting normal, but in shear stress, forces are acting parallel. There is a difference between normal and shear stress. Okay, so the resulting force internist are known as shear stress, and it is represented by symbol tau, and formula is same, load upon area, but the difference is in shear stress forces acting normal, and in forces acting parallel, and in normal stress forcing acting normal. Okay, now to understand the concept of strain, first let us consider a bar. As you can see that in figure, this is a bar of length L. Okay, and if a bar is subjected to direct load, and hence stress, the bar will change in length. As you can see that del L is change in length, which is increased. Okay, if the bar has an original length L and changes by an amount of del L, so we can say that strain will be change in length upon original length in simple language. Okay, a measure of the deformation of the material, and it is a dimensionless quantity. It has no units. Now, types of strain. To understand types of strain, again, let's try to learn with an example. Take a rubber or of piece of length L. As you can see that in this figure, this is a piece of rubber, and its length is L, width is B, and some height. Uh, uh, okay, the length of the rubber piece is slightly increasing. Okay, when we apply a pull load, as you can see that direction of loading, when we apply a pull load on this rubber, uh, the length of the rubber piece slightly increases. Suppose del L, as you can see that in this figure, the length is L, and this figure L plus del L. So del L is increased length. So obviously, if the length is increasing, we also observed some little change in width and height as they both decreases slightly. So del B will be decrease in width, and del W is a decrease in height. Okay, so we have observed three values of change in length in all three directions. So according to it, strain can be divided into two types. First, lateral strain, and second, longitudinal strain. The ratio of change in length to its original length in perpendicular direction of loading is called lateral strain. So lateral strain can be defined as uh, del B upon B or del W upon W. And as we applied a load, the length was increased. So the ratio of change in length to original length, which may be increased or decreased. Here, length is increasing. So change in length is del L, and original length was L. So longitudinal strain will be del L upon L. Here is here in case of lateral strain, lateral strain will also be change in length upon original length, but as we assume a piece of rubber here, del b and del w is decreased. Okay. Mm, Again, another type of normal strain is a tensile strain, which is similar to uh, type of tensile stress, or we can say compressive stress. As you can see that in this figure, uh, when we applied a pull load, okay, so this is, as you can see that this is tensile force, so obviously strain measured under tensile loading is known as tensile strain. So it tends to decrease the cross section and increase the length of the body. And compressive strain is again opposite to tensile strain. Strain measured under compressive loading is known as compressive strain, and it tends to increase the cross section area and decrease the length. Now, shear strain, as we learned before, in case of shear stress, when forces acts parallel to body, okay, this force is acting parallel to body when shear stress is applied on a body, and shear stress is the load which acts parallel to body, as you can see this in figure, it tends to deform the body. Okay, then the change in tangential angle, as you can see that if force acts parallel on this body, so the change in angle will be theta. Okay, so this theta is known as shear strain, or again del L upon L means change in length or original length, or we can say tangent of angle. Tangential angle is the direction of loading. In the direction of loading is called shear strain. Okay. Now the last but not the least, volumetric strain. uh, Obviously, as we learn that strain is change in length upon original length, so the ratio of change in the volume to original volume under normal loading condition is known as volumetric strain. So that's all from my side. uh, Thank you.